Namaste Galactic family, and welcome back to my channel IndigoAngel. Come on into this dimension, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and like, comment, and share this video so that way others can find out about my content here on my channel. And as always, thank you so much for your continued love and support of my channel. Today, I am going to be kind of sipping on some ginger tea here as we work through the depth of this update and, clarification video, and also really kind of diving into what is the global seven-dimensional greatest wound on this earth, the crucifixion implants. And so I'm going to take a sip of my ginger tea because it's just the perfect temperature right now and it's so good. I've been drinking ginger tea every single day. It seems to really help my stomach. I have a very sensitive stomach, all due to the ascension processes and ascension symptoms and things like this that I really, really love tea. Tea is probably, I have the bestest and greatest collection of teas. I just recently ordered the pine needle tea. I think I got about 100 pack of pine needle tea. It comes organic from, I believe, Japan or Korea. I ordered it from here because they seem to have the greatest selection of quality and, diversity of products to choose from. It seems to be like it's a really kind of big thing there that they drink a lot of this there. I guess it has been known to really clear nanoparticles and heavy metal toxins. So it is a tea that is being recommended if you have the JJ elixir remorse going on. So I did recommend this out to my patrons. If you're on my Patreon, patreon.com/IndigoAngel, that you should detox with pine needle tea. And so it's not that I need this because I have the JJ elixir remorse, but I like to try things, especially if I'm recommending them to other people. I like to try them myself. So yeah, guys. So first and foremost, I am going to throw a disclaimer on this video today, as I normally do for most of my videos. If you've been watching me for a while, I typically put them on, especially because I do talk about the more spicier and more controversial and more spiritual topics. And, I am not afraid to express how I feel about things that are going on a spiritual level, on a cosmic level, on a collective unconscious level, within humanity, and things that are happening within the grids globally and things like this. So I throw a disclaimer on. And I do this for this video specifically, just because I did just release the Phantom Pulse volcano video a couple days ago, and I really do need to do some cleanup from the character assassination attempts that really came through on this one. And I can understand where people are coming from. I didn't leave people with a lot of hope in that video, or a lot of solutions and things like this. And I do recognize that. And I really felt that after I released that video. It's just a lot of times I am kind of in a hurry. That was a quick update. And I'm just releasing the transmission of information that's coming through. And there's, a lot of passion. And there is a lot of deep research and deep reasons behind and why I say the things that I do. So in this video, I am definitely going to dive into all of that to give you further explanation of why I paint the pictures that I do, and why I feel the way I do, and why I just say the things that I do. Sometimes not realizing that here on YouTube, there is definitely a process of needing to hit all of the bases to allow people to understand that you are coming from a place of full perception. So I really hope to do that in this video here today, but I also throw a disclaimer on for two, because for one, I'm not claiming to be anything that I'm not. Okay, I am a woman. My birthday's coming up, October 25th. I'm going to be turning 35 years old. So a lot of people think I'm a lot younger, but no, I'm going to be 35. I am a mother. I am a student. I am a celestial and planetary student of knowledge. Okay, I'm a supporter of this earth and humanity and fellow starseeds and indigos. I consider myself to be an ambassador of nations. This is why I was able to write the book that I wrote, which is How to Read Celestial Akashic Starseed Origins, because I have been being guided by the celestial systems for some time to bring forth information, to bring forth deeper revelation that I can share with other people. And I share very willingly. Even the book that I wrote, I will get a lot of people who will message me and they will be like, so-and-so is, they're using your book and they're selling readings and and I appreciate people are just concerned. They want me to be aware of what's going on, and they feel defensive for me. They want to come and tell me, to let me know, my work could be being, copyright infringed and things like this. And I tell them, no, it's okay. I wrote the book this way because I want people to do readings. I want people to be abundant, and I want people to share this information. This is how we expand galactic consciousness into global minds and global hearts, and the collective running reality fields. Is we can't be selfish with knowledge. And so I really, truly believe that wholeheartedly. And I feel that it is my gift to humanity in whichever ways that people are going to utilize that information. Do I want people going around and, using the information and not giving me any credit where credit's dealt? No, I mean, of course, I would like people to be like, this came from IndigoAngel's book or something like this. Like, I think that's definitely important to cite your references, but I fully encourage people to do readings, learn how to do readings, and share this information with other people. This is how we get minds open. This is how we awaken the world. So, I mean, I consider myself to be an ambassador of many, many nations, not just Hydra, even though I am deeply, deeply rooted at the core of my being through the Hydra systems, through Ashayana, through Hydrobius, through Alphard, through Corvus, through Regulus. Okay. My sun ultimately is in Scorpio and really sits close to the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Libra star, which is in opposition to Pleiades. So my sun has somewhat of a Pleiadian origin to it as well. So this is how I can, I am definitely a huge spectrum of genetic diversity, of celestial genetic diversity within me. And so I speak on the grids because I was trained to do this by the higher intelligence sources. Okay. Several galactic attunements I've gone through, several re-encoding, re-encrypting, re-collapsing down my geometric structures, upgrading my DNA. People ask me all the time, how do you do this stuff? How do you know this stuff? It really, really comes from prioritizing my life. Okay. Releasing my codependency to twin flame wounds, twin flame traumas, twin flame codependency, separation dependency, separation issues with connecting with the divine, with the creator, with the omnipresence, and making my human, focusing on my human limitations in this life a priority as well, transcending my human limitations, and holding the state of my observational state and my operational state as a cosmic being as the priority in my life, and really prioritizing that as my primary focus. And so when you do that, you start to see the other things that are no longer aligned to your highest timelines, and those things fall away. Okay. And so I've gone through many, many strippings, okay, of my ego identity, many, many ego deaths. I am not exempt from these ego deaths. I very much experience ego deaths. If at least not once to twice a year, usually through major gateways and major portals. And so I prioritize those ego deaths. I look into them and I learn from them. And then I apply that knowledge again and again and again to bettering myself and to holding the highest timelines in place. And so everyone's really capable of doing this. And everybody, depending on your priorities, what do you prioritize? What do you want to make your primary focus? And what are your goals? Being able to see yourself 5 years, 10 years, 20 years in the future. I have made this my priority in my life. And so I've just applied what I have learned. A lot of this has come through the star systems themselves, you know, pushing me to attain higher consciousness, gifting me the ability of focus, and also self-preservation and self-awareness. So that way I can do these things for myself. So when I speak about a lot of these things, and I'm just ranting, guys, I'm sorry. I love you all so much. I'm really going to dive into this topic. You guys like my cup? Free spirit. So when I speak about a lot of these things, I do speak from neutrality. I do like to call it out for what it is. I speak more from the unseen and the undesirable. And I feel that I have been assigned to birth worlds from the unconsciousness, from the unconscious grids, from the unconscious aspects of our biology. And so when I get the messages to share, when I am able to connect the etheric dots, I do. And I do strive for transparency with you guys. Everything I speak, I live in my own multi-dimensionality. I do not speak of things that I haven't come to fully integrate. And I feel that I'm confident in my understanding, understanding, and overstanding to deliver those messages. Okay, so I know you guys see my justice lady over here. She's, I mean, I love her. I just ordered her. But you know, this is what this is about right now. Okay. It's about this. So having that said, the disclaimer is I cannot fully prove or disprove everything that I speak of today. So if you do listen today, you do so at your own gnosis and discernment, which I have always said and stressed to you guys. Your own gnosis and your own discernment is the most important thing. You know, diving in to the research yourself is very, very important, especially when you hear that me speak on such topics and subjects as controversial as crucifixion wounds and implants. I highly encourage you to dive into the research with this. And I do like to leave lots of links, as many as I can, in the descriptions to things that I've read, things that I've referenced. You know, you guys see me navigating on my platform, pulling up the internet, websites I go to, things like this. So I want you guys to be able to come up to speed with everything that I speak of. And I know each and every one here today is so magnificent in their own divine right. So thank you for coming through the portal on your way in. And I love you. I appreciate you and that you choose to stay and listen with me. So, but having that said, all of that said, I'm going to start calling my shows tea time with IndigoAngel. Okay. Having that said, you guys, I do not intentionally promote fear-based paradigms of love and light. Okay. I am acknowledging that there are other aspects of purity to this spectrum of love and light, right? Not all perceptions of this are fear-based, but there is a huge elephant in the higher cosmic community an elephant in the room in this collective that I do want to speak of today, okay? I also want to say, nor do I promote the pretend away the darkness dogma and savior consciousness, okay? These are planetary logos wounds mixed with a pretty present wrapped with the MK Ultra special, okay? And it's really hard to look around you and at everyone existing in your community, in your social environment, you know, in the nation, in your nation, in your grids, globally, internationally, and watch the psychotronic bioweaponry, mass weaponry that is affecting everybody's consciousness. Okay. There are technologies, dues, and extensions from dues. I talked about dues on the last update a little bit, which, you know, I'd love to dive into this more if everybody can handle it. Essentially, dues are directed energy Willy Wonkas, okay, and they are, you know, designed to by, you know, certain factions of galactic involvement, military involvement, things like this. And for targeted locations, right? The California wildfires. I do believe I just received a picture today from a divine sister who was showing me a picture of, it looks like the Mount Merapi in Indonesia. Okay. It looks like a dew technology that they used to create the wildfires, that it was not a meteor at all that went into the volcano, that this was actually a dew. So there is a lot that's going on with this right now. I think you guys are going to see, as more keeps unveiling itself and more of the veil keeps getting pushed back, that there's a lot more global hijacking and psychotronic warfare and, you know, unseen things that are playing out underneath all of this. So how, you know, deep and dark does the shadow go on this planet? It goes pretty far. And, you know, how else, what else are we supposed to do? We need to be able to talk about these things, okay? We need to get beyond the concepts of achieving unity through tolerance. Okay, this is what they're feeding off of. Okay, I say that we must achieve unity through endurance and justice. Okay, that's why I have my justice sister back here today, because we are here to speak on behalf of justice. Okay, and these particular federations, right, that are cloaked. A lot of these galactic federations are cloaked as other things, and they are preying upon the spiritual longings of Christian-based galactic implants and beliefs. Okay, so there is a level of Christian-based beliefs that have infiltrated the galactic realms. Okay, and I've been seeing this for a while. And it really takes one to look at their beliefs, look at their belies, right? This is what's being transformed into the cosmic grids at this time. And it's being nurtured and it's being staged into an international galactic polarity consciousness. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. And I speak on these things because I can see the Christian-based beliefs in the galactic realms, okay, and how it's still feeding off of everyone here. I speak on these things because I am more sovereign than this. I speak on these things because I'm more cleared energetically than this, and the distortions that this brings. And I can see more from an expanded perspective that is not subservient to the mainstream cosmic narrative. In fact, I aim to burst the mainstream cosmic narrative bubbles. That's what I live for. Okay, I live for that. Okay. The Galactic Federation, and it's not just the Galactic Federation, there's multiple sets of different federations. There's federations of planets. Okay, if you hear Federation of Planets, this is immediately archonic, because a lot of the planetary archonic energy is from the planets themselves, that at least in terms of cosmic history, that the planets have been the ones serving a lot of these agendas. Okay, they're the spiritual believed archetypes of planetary consciousness, but a lot of this has been demonized in the cosmic community. Okay, Saturnian matrices, things like this, the beast machines, all of this goes back to planetary spectrum. Okay, so if you hear of a galactic federations of planets that are coming to save us, this is feeding a false narrative. Okay, the truth is that the Federation, they're feeding the narrative that the Federation is coming to save us. Okay, again, this goes back to Christian-based beliefs, and I'm going to dive really deep into all of this, you guys. So if you're sitting there and you're cringing your face right now, just know that I do have a deep explanation for all of this, and I really would like you guys to hear me out. The truth is, we are going to save us, okay? With the assistance from the divine within us, from the nations, from the cosmic blueprint from within us that we already are, the embodied aspects of this that we already are. The truth is, we are already the first generations of galactics embodied in human form here on this earth. The Anunnaki are here, and there are good facets of the Anunnaki, and there are tampered facets of the Anunnaki. There's fallen facets of the Anunnaki. They're all here, okay? They're assisting with this great cleansing and clearing at this time. And everything that goes along with the sterilization programs, the eugenesis programs, the aspects of the, JJ elixir and the corona, the crucifixion, right? All of this has to do with those beings being aligned to those specific things. And there is a level of genetic manipulation that is replaying again in history as we speak from the time of Atlantis. Okay. And it is a great cleansing, and it is a great clearing, and it's a great revealing to show us the organic and the inorganic timelines in the great international cosmic consciousness polarity that's running in the grids. We have to remember that within a lot of these agendas, there are staged contact events. This is one of the key elements in ushering in a new wizard order. Okay. If you read any books on New Wizard Ordered books, I have a whole bunch of them. You guys should see what my desk and my floor actually looks like, because I'm glad you guys can only see this part, because I look like my desk looks like Albert Einstein's or like Nikola Tesla's desk or something. But this is one book, okay? New World Order by Ralph Epperson. Things like this. Read these books, okay? Even David Icke, okay? What is the David Icke book called? I don't have it on hand, but it's in my bedroom. But he talks about that. He talks about the stage that it's going to usher in the new wizard orders, because it's still going to be propagating the Christian-based belief systems. Okay. So this is where I really strive to actually work harder here. I strive to go to the deepest core and just really unlock the truth in whatever realm I have to access to attain wisdom. I'm not afraid to bring this up. I'm carrying the Sophia codes through the Black Madonna, through the heart of Ashleisha. And so some of you may not like the form of my physical appearance, of my flesh bag, or the mannerisms in which I say these things. But just know I am here to deliver clarity. I am here to give deeper reasoning. And I do care very much and very deeply for humanity. And there's a reason for the awakening of Hydra consciousness now here at this time. There is a reason that this is being rebirthed into the collective at this time. Okay. My goal is always to strive to bring new concepts, new activations, new grid awareness, new perspectives, and just deeper and deeper revelations and all things that I'm guided to speak on within these topics. So I leave it in your guys' hands to utilize it with what you may. And I am just one collective cosmic mind trying to unravel the defense illusion of 3D safety over calling the kettle black, right? There is this desire to prioritize 3D safety versus what's really actually playing out here. Okay, so I get my information from me, okay? The way that I deliver this message, everything here has been authenticity checked, okay? I authenticity check and then recheck myself before I talk to you guys, okay? My studies are very vast, very across the global board of great minds. You guys know that I absolutely love and adore Lisa Renee. I absolutely love and have studied Ashayana Deane. I absolutely have studied several people throughout time. I just recently studied some Rudolf Steiner. I just recently have studied this one. Okay, for remote viewing, David Morehouse. He was a coordinator for remote viewing. He worked on some secret space programs and things like this. Okay, so I study everything, anything and everything that I can get my hands on. I've studied the Book of Knowledge, the Keys of Enoch. Okay, this is, this more is aligned with the Father principle and things like this, but I don't care. I look at these things like I am here to understand the truth of humanity, to understand the truth of history. And the only way I can get to the bottom of it is if I dive into the global library of Mintaka. Okay. So again, I'm going to leave as many references in the description as I can, but it really is up to you guys to do the work. My connection in all of this is to the higher realms, those who send me intel and, tell me that it's okay that I share with others the intel that they send me. Thank you, everyone who does that. I appreciate that so much. My connection also is to the guardians. My connection is to the seraphim. And I have a very keen claircognizance to basically hunt the grids. I feel like a grid hunter most days, to be honest with you. Sorry, guys, I got a call. But yes, I feel like a grid hunter. I feel like I have a bow and arrow. Like this is one of my celestial modalities that I'm able to use to be very exact in what I'm looking to reveal. So I like to deconstruct demonization and negative agendas. I stand for the God feminine technology on this earth, and I aim to pierce the veil with precision, you guys. And I go deep, and I'm not afraid to go ugly, and I call out the haters. So I will just drink this one to the haters today, okay? Because really, the more that you know and see on this earth through sovereignty, the more there is just no filter to what the not sees are doing. And the not sees does apply to the ones who you cannot see, but also to the ones who cannot see. Okay, so really for me, this is just more about focusing on cloaking the frequency of these transmissions from the handlers. Okay. And I do feel that I'm qualified and in alignment to speak on these things. And so I do, guys. Okay. Now that I got all that out and I feel a lot better, I want to talk to you guys about something that is resurfacing now in the global earth grids. Okay. Something that's resurfacing in everyone's biological seventh dimensional spiritual body. I see this all the time in spiritual people. It is very unconscious in their energy field. I see it daily everywhere around me. Okay. This crucifixion wound, this always has been here. Okay. And it was implanted at the start of the Piscean age. And it does contain the best and the worst that the Piscean age legacy has to offer, essentially. Okay, so this crucifixion implant, this crucifixion wound, the greatest wound of love on this earth, was installed in the Piscean age. The Piscean age was the ultimate age of neurosis, where suffering and guilt were somehow synonymous with spirituality. Okay, a lot of that's beginning to be lifted now, coming into the Aquarian age. But there's a lot of speculation if we are actually fully into the Aquarian age. These progression and these changes take time over years and years and years. You know, we might not be fully into this until 2051, and where we're really starting to see the transition into this time fully. I was actually seeing there's going to be a blood moon eclipse in 2051 that's supposed to be very, very important. I believe this is a total lunar blood moon eclipse, October 19th through the 20th in 2051. So that eclipse might be very, very important. And it's interesting about eclipses because they say an eclipse and an earthquake happening at the same time really may be the only thing that can break the spell of these planetary crucifixion wounds. And the next eclipse, solar eclipse that we're going to have, and I could be wrong about this, there might be one before this, but there's going to be a very important one on October 14th, 2023. So I was kind of getting messages that getting through everything that we're going through, socially, nationally, within all of the systems that are playing out, with all of the tampering, all of the clearing of darkness, clearing of shadow, clearing of hijacking, planetary hijacking, that we won't see, that we might not see the full dismantling of these things until this eclipse, October 14th, 2023. Now, things are probably going to be up and down a lot until we get through 2022. Okay, so the crucifixion implant, this holds the deepest wounds on the psyche of the planetary logos. And right now, what I'm seeing is happening is that it is to be recoded because of the Aquarian age. It is to be recoded at this time as the corona. Okay, that's why we had the corona mutation, hijacking, right? Sickness and variants, right? But it's corona. It came from the crown. Okay. That's how a lot of this is also interconnected. This affects the seventh dimensional portion of the body and the entire physiology of the body, right? Because it is an illness that is attacking the crown, but also initiates, activates, and feeds upon the wounds of the crucifixion. Okay. And this is all coming up to be recoded now, because now it's happening. And because we're also transitioning into the Aquarian age, where it's revealing and unveiling these truths. So this is to be recoded and removed, technically, for those who are truly ready. This is why I devote myself to J-seal removals, because we're actually going through the process of removing that implant. And I can tell you, it is a very heavy etheric implant. Many people, when they release this, there is an entire full body experience that happens. There is a lot of crying. There is a lot of just deep, all over, all body tingles, full body experience, emotional, spiritual, mental experience that happens when you go through the removal of this. Okay, and then we send it down into the planetary feedback systems for transcendence. Okay, this is how we allow the Earth's grids to know that these distortions here are no longer serving humanity. So it's a great collective healing all at the same time for those that are in alignment to the higher call of their infinite omnipresence and liberation from the frequency prisons of the Anunnaki Nephilim. Okay, because remember I told you there's many different facets of the Anunnaki. They've been here since the beginning of time. I mean, not the beginning of time, but they've been here for a very, very long time, since at least the time of Atlantis and prior even into Lemuria. This is when a lot of the warring begun and things like this, right? So many are going from the binary wave to the trinary form, but beyond that, limitless forms of cosmic fire, cosmic water, and nanodiamonds and infinite forms. Many of us are embodying and attaining this here now. The indigo children types 1, 2, and 3, the Starseeds, the grid and gatekeepers. This is all now applying to you and those who are observing the global idiocracy that's taking place from 9/11 to 3/11, okay, which seem to be the date variations in which global catastrophe seems to like to strike the Earth's grids, where the idiocracy that plays out in the shadow realms likes to fruitfully manifest itself on this Earth. You know, serving and observing specific archetypes and archons. We are observing those we love, really being aligned to, like I said, sterilization programs and mind control programs, okay? We are trying to defeat the MK Ultra simulation that has been running through the Wizard of Oz implants, okay? So we are piercing deeper here, guys, more of the veil. And it's a veil that we never thought could be full of so much electromagnetic schmog. Okay, the kallispell to be broken is. The kallispell to be broken is. There are the Earth's greatest wounds of love. Okay. The crucifixion implants. This is the point I've been trying to get to this whole update, but I just haven't spoke to you guys for a while, genuinely. So I just feel like I'm really going off on a lot of tangents, but I mean, overall, I think I'm getting to the point. The crucifixion wounds are the Earth's greatest wounds of love. This really weighs down the entire body, starting from the crown of your head, from the corona, okay, and works down through your hands, your feet, your side, your back, and it capsulates you in wars of blood and water. And essentially, what are wars of a broken heart? And also, it ties us into incomplete souls coming in for incarnation. So actually incomplete souls. And I know that's a little hard concept to wrap your mind around, is that, oh, souls might be incarnating incomplete. Well, if you think about it, we were very much an androgynous state in Lemuria, okay? This has a lot to do with the division of the sexes, is where the energetic field was ultimately separated and weakened, and has caused a plethora of distortions to play out in terms of forced breeding programs, sterilization, and also slavery here on this earth. So yes, there is a huge collective of incomplete souls coming in for incarnation. Shoot, there's a whole collective of cyborgs, zombies, NPCs, you name it, okay? Empty seaters, all of this, okay? So how are incomplete souls coming in for incarnation? How is the concept of this any different? So really all of this, what all of this translates to is the crucifixion wounds, or what are collective humanities crucifixion implants. I used to have these, okay? I remember when I had them, and I often would remember being Christ. There was a good framework of my ascension where I would have these full body memories and experiences where I don't even know really at the time where I was going, what I was doing, but they would last for hours, where I would be in and out of consciousness. And I would see myself as Christ. I would have these viewpoints of actually watching the crucifixion. And I would get a lot of planetary spiritual healing downloads that would show me why this happened, why it had to happen. I would get all of the reasoning. I would get all of my answers just through the full body experience. And I would always have to deeply cry and deeply clear this energy when this would come upon me. Okay. So I remember carrying the crucifixion implants. Okay. Since then I've removed mine. But these are like an unconscious collective plague of a real interdimensional stigmata. So, there are real stories of this throughout history. There are a lot of famous, people that they're not famous, but they're known and they've been notated throughout history to have been a real physical stigmata experience. These are the ones who essentially present with the mysterious manifestation of real physical wounds of Christ and bleeding from these wounds. Mostly these people are from strong Roman Catholic beliefs, and I feel it's because they have taken on the karma of physical manifestation of stigmata due to their involvement in these events. So what I'm talking about with global crucifixion, collective implants and wounds, this is more of a collective etheric stigmata, okay? And it's due to the psycho-spiritual warfare that has been installed to enslave humanity. This is the crown of thorns. And the crown of thorns, this was made from the Arabian nebulae with 4-inch long thorns. And there's actually like hundreds of these thorns all over this. These represent the deepest traumas of suffering, being fully separated from the source of creation. This is an etheric crown of thorns that is in the energetic body. And this was a secret and silent invasion of the planetary monadic structures when this came to be, okay? This is why most people can't see it running in their field, is because it happened at a planetary level, and it happened at the monadic structures, which the majority of the collective, they are still capped with a 7th dimensional seal. So that's definitely not going to be happening. Okay. So, and a lot of those who are going into galactic consciousness realms, cosmic realms, galactic federations, idealisms of things, they have not cleared this here. Okay. So it's easy to, tantalize their belies, their belials, their beliefs. Okay. What happened is that it's through having undergone a mad science experiment. This was through the Draco Anu hybrids, the Nephilim, also Metatron, also King of Solomon. All has to do with this. Yahweh, the Yahweh systems. Okay. Jehovah, the not sees, the archons, or what we can just simply call existential mind control, where they hijack and they harvest our life force from the crown of thorns in the monadic planetary structures, which I do feel has tampered the planetary rod as well, which I'm going to talk about. Basically, what they've done is they've made an entire satire through the crucifixion of Christ, putting him on display as a warning to other criminals to not repeat the same crimes. It was a gruesome public humiliation of capital punishment. And they often only do this to slaves for the longest time. I mean, I know a lot of people have been crucified other than Jesus or Christ, but back in a lot of these times, this was really a punishment that was done to slaves, which is another deep etheric body wound that I do want to start talking about with you guys as much as I can, because as I'm walking into the shadow, I'm clearing it. Okay. I am bringing it to the surface. I'm bringing the unconscious up from the depths of the suffering, trauma, and pain bodies of the grid cells. Okay. I'm talking about living here down in the South. I'm in Alabama right now, and I have no idea why. Okay. I mean, I knew I was looking to get out of a blue state simply because of the fact that they are on some next level trip and stuff on trying to push the JJ elixir, but at the same time, there is a level of inflation that is happening in these states where it's making it almost impossible for you to live. Okay, so I knew I had to get down to a red state, but why Alabama? I get down here, I realize this is literally the slavery capital of the world, and I'm sitting in the greatest egregore of slavery trauma cells that are releasing and emitting into the pain body of our nation. Okay, so it's really haunting the grid cells and the blocks deeply here in the US, and I can't wait to dive into this topic with you guys because I have some locations that I really want to go around my city. One is a museum that I guess it's the greatest like slavery museum in the entire United States. And so I want to be able to go and record and shoot a video there and share that experience with you guys. But this is, we talk about the penal cells of trauma down in Australia. Well, here there are slavery cells that are really affecting and deeply impacting the trauma bodies of the US and all over the world, really. Okay. All of this slavery, all of this goes all the way back to Lemuria and to Mu, with the Anunnaki Nephilim and things like this. When we had the division of the sexes, we had clamps on the fourth strand of the DNA. We had double implants on the heart. We had seal matrices in the crystal grids. We have 5D soul incarnate blockages. Okay, I could go on forever. We have sterilization programs. We have the forced breeding programs. Okay, I am a survivor of forced breeding programs. I can tell you that right now. I'm not speaking from anything that I don't feel I can remember or attain from my own records. Okay, the intergalactic slave trades. Okay, this is a big, big deal. Whew. I can't even fully go into it with you guys right now. I just thought of some things I wanted to say, but it's going to take me into a whole other can of worms with this. Sticking to the crucifixion. Okay, so there was something called the Great Gladiator Crucifixion in the Third Civil War. These are the wars of Spartacus. And what this was a great slave rebellion that actually threatened the Vatican seals. Okay, as they were really these slave warriors, they were going for the heartland of Rome, and the military at that time was powerless to suppress it. So once they were able to do that, once they were able to divide and conquer, they caught about 6,000 of those slave followers. And what they did was they publicly crucified all of them. Okay. So, it almost makes me nauseated and sick to think about it, that all of this represents the tortured human being and its implant that most descendants of the Essene Grail line will carry. Most indigos will carry. Most Anunnaki descendants will carry. Okay, so we talk about the Anunnaki and the heinous things that they're associated and connected to with here, but at the same time, they're glorified and they're the ones cleaning up the mess. So whatever, right? If you have a percentage of Anunnaki DNA, you're going to carry this. I have a percentage of Anunnaki DNA. Okay, I have 5 to 10% Anunnaki DNA. Okay, we are hybrids here. Descendants from Abraham will carry this. Melchizedek's will carry this, as we are all Christ and we all have been crucified. Okay, and this is what caps you from attaining your noble desires in life, is when you cannot see this, attain this, and remove this. Because these wounds, they're in the DNA, they are in the genetics, they are in the cellular memory, they are in the recycling, even in the astral planes where memory obliteration is taking place. I also feel that this hijacking has infiltrated the planetary rod, like I was saying before in my last update, that this was inner Earth wars. It's an inner Earth wound. And I've been also trying to figure out how they are embedding this on the unborn, because people are being born with this. And I have been seeing this through the Vatican and the monarchy seals. So if you want to know deeper about what those are, I don't have time to talk about it in this update, but please see my Aryan occultist seal removal session video that I did. I believe it's just like up on my my main board when you come into my YouTube channel. For returning subscribers, I do talk about the Vatican and the monarchy seal, that how they're tampering the fourth strand of the DNA to block your ability to connect to ancestral connections. There's so much that's going on within that strand, and also on the reproductive system, which I've talked a lot about in other updates. So yeah, I'll leave links in the description to that video. This will at some point, and I feel that that time is now, become everyone's deep internal fight for control over their own spiritual sovereignty. Okay, this is a deep internal battle within one's will. And so it's really time, you guys. Here's my hope, here's my encouragement, here's my love and light, here's my justice. Okay, it's time to be brave. It's time to be courageous. It's time to be calm. It's time to be self-aware as truth seekers. Each one has to be ready to let go. Each one has to be able to see their lies, their beliefs. Okay, each one has to let go of the black cube matrix system through Saturn. Okay, why can't everybody let go of this? Because they are subservient to it. Okay, this is the robed community. Okay, this is our judges. The whole definition of justice has to be redefined. Okay, we have to let go of all this, because this is what feeds on the crucifixion wounds. Okay, feeds on the greatest wounds of love, where the squaring of the circle technology stamps its face in the grids and funnels the energy here. We have squaring the circle technology in so many places right now, which is the epitome of the Saturn matrixy systems here. The Vatican City, Canberra, Australia, the Wizard of Oz headquarters, Kaaba, the beast machines, the monarchy. Okay, all of them have squaring the circle technology in these locations. Our struggle is not against our flesh and blood at the end of the day, which they want you to get caught in this loop cycle. Okay, it's really against the rulers. It's really against the authorities. It's really against the powers of the dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Each one has to recognize lack of empathy. Each one has to recognize the predatorial forces within them. Okay, the unstable and the undesirable. Okay, and the wounded personality types. And we have to provide acceptance. Okay, the fact that undesirables are allowed to, there needs to be a major shift in terms of undesirables. Okay, the undesirables need to become the desirable. The hero savior wounds that target starseeds and spiritually developing people. Okay, this is the overlapping of 3D to galactic dimensional controller programs. Okay, victimizer programs. This is what a lot of this represents. Extreme cosmic polarity consciousness. The you are helpless and I will save you mentalities. It takes our power away. Okay, it also takes accountability and responsibility out of our hands. All of this goes along with what I was talking about in my last quick update with the La Palma video, that I'm so thankful I get to provide some deeper clarification on the galactic federations that I told you were playing into a staged polarity game here, and some of the timelines that I see emerging within this. The majority of these beliefs and those who follow, okay, they're still being fed upon according to the crucifixion wounds in the 7D. Okay, and when this really should be about the recoded cosmic heart of the Christos and Sophia energies here in the grids, the purest forms of these. Okay, returning of the feminine god technology and the law of one intelligence to the earth without phasing without phasing this into the next level of celestial embodiment processes here, bringing along the distortions, okay, and the cosmic polarity staged events. Here, the implants of the next cycle of crucifixion is set to run in the cosmic systems. And already this has deeply seeded to a great degree here. This is something I have been seeing for years, okay, a very long time. But I've just failed to find the words to really explain it or even talk about it up until now. So I apologize if my message the other day came across as harsh or not compassionate towards humanity, achieving a leveling up on the side of light. But yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to promote the fear-based propaganda of the love and light, or even the false ascension programs that are geared to this reality. Okay. This really does strike a fiery passion within me when everyone here, like I said, is already the embodied first generation of human galactics here. Okay. This is not outside of anyone. And we shouldn't be propagating a savior consciousness that somebody is coming to save us. Okay. We're the ones that have to do the work. The nations here are here to support us in our roles as we anchor in the galactic realms. The nations, the radial identities, the diversities are assisting humanity spiritually with higher levels of intelligence to give us these wisdoms to break the dismantling old world of the Piscean grip, to remove the crucifixion wounds of humanity, but not to get caught up in ideas of savior consciousness that someone else is cleaning up this mess. So just tolerate the world in the meantime, and you will achieve unity consciousness, okay? It's about this. It's about my justice lady back here, okay? What is done in the light will always be seen. But what is done in the dark, what is done in the shadow, what is done by the Aldebaoth, what has been done by the Nephilim, what has been done by the Saturn matrices and beast machines, this is done in the dark, and it is done underneath everyone's awareness in the unconscious. It is elusive, it is unseen, and it is deeply implanted in the unconsciousness of humanity. And here is where these imbalances of the scales take root, okay? Where the world must awaken to really tip these scales of justice, okay? We have to open our eyes in the dark, okay? We have to become more nocturnal. And this is how we can impact the planet dramatically. So humanity can actually feel free to evolve per our original blueprint. Okay, guys, so yes, I had a lot to say today, and I thank you for sticking with me. I love you all so much. Please feel free to join my website newsletters, IndigoAngel222.com. Please feel free to check out my services. The J seal removal would remove the crucifixion implant, and that's at IndigoAngel222.com. And again, you can join me on Patreon, patreon.com/IndigoAngel. We will be doing a massive group grid healing on October 20th, 2021, which is just a few days away. Today is the 14th. So yes, we're going to be diving into the grids as a group soon. So I hope to see you there. And I love you all so much. I hope you guys are having a beautiful everything. And I hope that it helped you to see deeper of why I say the things that I do, that I don't just say things for no reason. And there's a deep message and a deep wisdom that I seek to transmit and also clarify with you guys. So yes, again, I love you all so much. Have a beautiful everything. Namaste.